Welcome to Everyday with Jesus for December 11th. God knows and hears. Let's look up Matthew 6, verse 8. Okay, Matthew 6, verse 8, but I'm going to back it up like I usually do. Let's start with verse 5, and Jesus is talking about prayer, and he says, "And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand praying in the synagogues and on the street corners to be seen by men. I tell you the truth, they have received their reward in full. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. And when you pray, do not keep on babbling like pagans, for they think they will be heard because of their many words. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask Him." God knows and hears. We sometimes ponder the purpose and procedures of prayer. Jesus' disciples had a learning curve on the subject as well. At times, Jesus' instructions might have seemed contradictory. On one occasion, he told them God knew what they were going to ask for before they prayed, which probably raised a silent question in their mind. Then why pray? Then he immediately taught them how to pray. Matthew 6, 8-13. So, his point was not, don't pray. His point was, don't pray long, sanctimonious prayers like the religious pagans who used long prayers as a way to influence God. Instead, he taught them a prayer of just over 60 English words. Jesus' point was that God hears our heart, not just our words. He knows and hears all of our prayers, even when we don't know exactly how to pray. Romans 8, 26-27. When the young Mary received the angel Gabriel's message, she likely didn't know how to pray in response, but she pondered his words in her heart, Luke 2:19. Unspoken prayers that God heard and answered. Be assured that God hears and answers your prayers even before you pray. I really like that a lot. And it's true, we don't need really wordy prayers, and we also don't need really long prayers. Sometimes I do little, what I call arrow prayers, when I'm in the middle of a situation or something stressful. It's just kind of like, God help! Just shoot that little prayer up, and it's amazing. God hears that, and He does answer. I feel like, too, that God kind of answers our prayers in three ways. Yes, which we love. No, which we don't like. And wait, that's the third way. How many of you have had wait prayers? I've had a lot of those, a lot lately especially. But you know what? In the waiting, you just get closer to God and God reveals more of Himself to you. And sometimes the circumstances change and you don't even really need that prayer answered anyway. You're just on to something else, or you've realized maybe that isn't the best path, and God He's got you, my friend. He's got you. So it is important to pray. And I also encourage you to have a prayer journal. This is something our family does. We gather once a week and we try to journal each other's prayers. We go around and each person says 3 or 4 prayers. We write them down and then we actually take time praying right there. We used to do this together on the couch, but now my kids have moved away, so we do it on Zoom. So I encourage you, find some people to pray with or journal your prayers. Just make time to pray every day to God, my friend. He is hoping to hear from you today. So I hope you have a prayerful day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. You can order your own copy of the Everyday with Jesus devotional book by going to davidjeremiah.org or by calling Turning Point at 877-998-0222. And I would love to answer any questions you may have about faith in Jesus. Just email me through my website, nancyjoytoyou.com. And I hope you go out and shine for Him today. See you tomorrow.